Good morning and welcome to America's Home Cooking and happy holiday. Today I am making a traditional Irish quick bread. I'm having it with corned beef today, and I'm also, instead of cooking my cabbage, I am going to make coleslaw with it, and I have made mustard which will go on the corned beef as well. I just didn't want a boiled dinner today. I wanted to make my dinner different today. And I've already showed you how to make coleslaw, and you know how to boil the corned beef. Everybody does it different. I had a girlfriend who does it in beer. She's going to teach me how to do that. Isn't that interesting to think of boiling it with beer? I wouldn't have thought about that, but she's going to tell me how to do it, and that'll be a new way for me to do corned beef. All right, now to make this, now by the way, this is just one of about 5 recipes I have of Irish bread, but this is a quick bread, and I want a quick bread today and not the yeast and doing it all that. So we need 2.5 cups of whole wheat flour. I'll just tear this one open. How much we got in here? Oh, we're going to set the oven at 375. Okay. I didn't have enough to measure out here, so I just figured I'd just take it from the UN and dump this in. You know, hold on a minute. I'm having my coffee. This is my chicory coffee. When I grew up, I was taught, we need 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. I was taught to tell the truth. If I lied, I got my tail whipped. And my mother was not light-handed in the spanking. She was heavy-handed. In other words, if you did something wrong, you were going to know about it. You wouldn't be able to sit down without feeling it for days. It wasn't abuse, it was punishment. I was always told, when I lied, and we were taught this in church, my parents said you always tell the truth. The church said you tell the truth and you stand with God. Always tell the truth. You deal with punishment. But always tell the truth. It was drilled into me. Every time I tried lying, I got whipped. Every time I told the truth, I got whipped. One time, I proceeded to tell the truth. It was the most obvious thing, but nobody was bothering to hear it. And I was the voice of truth. And I told the truth. Well, when my mother got me home, she took brown soap, cut a piece, put it in my mouth, and she put the dish soap in my mouth. Then she taped my mouth closed. You know that beautiful silver tape? Straight across, and then I got whipped. And I was told to sit on the back porch and contemplate. Now, remember, I was told not to lie. I'm telling the truth. I don't know how long I sat out there. My father came and he heard what I had done, and he came to talk to me, and I'm in tears, sitting all by myself with my mouth taped for telling the truth. He couldn't wipe the smile off his face, but he had to tell me not to say everything that you knew. Well, I learned at that point, keep my big mouth shut. If I thought it and I saw it, I wasn't going to say anything. I didn't lie, but I wasn't going to say anything either. Young people of today, you have no idea what we had to go through. And my mother, because I told the truth, I lied. What did I do? I lied. And I said something that wasn't very nice. And I was told by my parents I was a poor excuse for a human being. You don't deserve any respect with what you thought and what you said. And this is directed directly to somebody who wrote some very inappropriate things on my YouTube channel. And poor excuses of a human being, that's less than the animals and the insects. I mean, you're nothing. I got the message loud and clear. And she said, if you want respect, you have to give respect. And she also told me, you're not going to get it when you start it. You have to live that life of respect. You have to learn the hard way. And they're not going to respect you for a long time. Well, I went through my gamut, and I learned to respect everybody. And if I didn't like something, I was taught how to say it in such a manner as to be respectful. Like if somebody served me a dish and I wasn't overly fond of it, I have a way of saying it, but I'll eat it, but it's not my favorite. The person who sent the insults of the food, you are a poor excuse of a human being. When you insult people and you can't see their point of view, you're a poor excuse of a human being. Not everybody feels the same way about everybody. Everybody has a different point of view. It doesn't make you right, it doesn't make them right. It just means that you both are on different levels of growth and you see things differently. But you have no right to be insultive or disrespectful, because if you want that respect, you could be anybody. You could be a king or a queen, but if you don't have the people's respect because you don't give the respect, you're not going to get it. It doesn't work like that. The world does not revolve around you. We all have to learn to live together, and we all have to be diplomats. You might not be a diplomat to another country, but you have to be diplomatic to your neighbors, to your classmates, to people that you don't like. You're diplomatic because we all live here. We all have to learn to live together. And taking your frustrations and everything out and hurting people and everything else and insulting them, it doesn't get you anywhere except in more trouble. And you keep dragging yourself down to lesser than a human being. So we must always have that respect. You don't have to agree. You don't have to like them, but you give them that respect, and then they have to give it back to you. But if you have been snotty all this time and disrespectful, and you try to be respectful, nobody's going to listen to you right now, because you have to go through the gamut to re-earn that respect, that they can see you as a human being. My parents taught me that. Do I have a mouth on me? Oh yeah, you can push me into a corner, I can do it, but I'll try not to. I'll go all the routes around trying to avoid it, and if you just keep on, then finally something has to be said to slap you into reality. But always remember, you're a human being, your neighbors, your enemies, everybody's a human being. We're all at different growths in our lives. We're all striving to be the best that we can. So clean your mouth up, clean your thoughts up, be more respectful. If you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. Just point blank to the person who said what they said on my YouTube channel. Now let's get back to this dish. Baking powder, 1.5 teaspoons. One and a half teaspoons of salt. Now we don't have to make this more nutritious because it already is. And you need 1 teaspoon of baking soda. We're going to need a half a stick of butter. Which is 1/4 of a cup. Now, if you want, you can use a pastry cutter to cut your butter. I just grated mine because I took it out of the freezer and just threw it in the microwave for a little bit. And I wanted to make sure it was soft enough I could grate it because it was hard as a rock. I was going through cookbooks and I said, dang, where did I put that recipe yesterday? And I just couldn't remember where I put it when I came in. We are also going to need 1/3 cup of dark raisins. And we're going to need 2 teaspoons of caraway seeds. going to just make one loaf, but it's really a good loaf. I just think it'll be nice. That's my son's. What do you think of this? I said, oh, Mommy, that sounds so good. I said, okay. We need 1.5 cups of buttermilk that we're going to pour in this. So you're going to make a well in the middle. I'm going to mix it with what? Okay. If we're going to do that, then I need a fork. I'm going to have to make some buttermilk. I am running out. Well, they want us to stir this just until the moisture is it's just mixed. So in other words, it's not going to be mixed all the way. So I'm going to move over here so you can see what it looks like. I poured the buttermilk into the middle. So I want you to see this. I'm using, what did I just do with that? I threw it in here. I don't believe it. And we're just going to mix this just to a point of being mixed. So we added the fruit before we added the liquid because we want the fruit coated. When you look at the bottom, when you mix this, you know you're getting close to the mixture. When it's done, you won't have a ton of flour sitting on the bottom. Let me see what they want next. I'm going to take this out and we're going to knead it. Just dump it out. Don't worry, it'll come together. It's going to take me a bit, but I'll get it together. Because I know you can't stir it all together. Yeah, I told you it would come together. You just have to work it a bit. We haven't had this in a very, very long time. So I'll show you. It does get there. See, as you handle it, the butter's going to get softer and softer and melt and spread out through the bread. Now I have some traditional Irish soda bread as well. And I love their scones. Oh my God. I could eat those till they're coming out of my ears. That's sort of like eating blueberries. I ate a whole pint my son bought. I didn't share them with anybody. I ate them. They were good. This is going to have sort of a rough look about it. This is what you're going to do. Make it like this. Let me wipe this counter off. Hope it fits on that cookie sheet. The reason I wipe the counter off before I move the pans over here, looking for a clean area, it keeps your oven racks clean. You don't have to clean them as often. A lot of people just set it on and put it there, and you don't realize the filth on the bottom is going to make your oven get dirtier faster. Now, you're only going about 1/4 of an inch deep on this, and no deeper, and you're going to put an X on the top of it. That's all you're going to do. If you go any deeper, you're going to find that your bread is going to fall somewhat apart because it's going to spread when it gets into the oven. Now, we are going to bake this just like this for about 40 minutes, okay? So let's get it in the oven, and we'll see how it comes out in 40 minutes. And I will see you at that point. Okay, the bread is done. It's a russet bread. There's bread, but this is it, and this is how it looks. That's a heavy bread, and that's it. Here it is up close. You don't cut this bread, you break the bread off, you put butter on it, and that's how you eat it. So this is like an old-fashioned bread where they didn't cut, they just broke bread. It's a Christian thing of breaking bread, and you know, before you eat it. So listen, take care. Bye-bye.